Thank you for watching another episode of Stallonis Reviews. Our mission is to help you decide what to love making next. This is Mrs. Stallonis Reviews, and today I will be reviewing the Magic Broomstick Potions Bar. A big thank you to all who have subscribed to our channel. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. We're trying to reach 250 subscribers by the end of November. I want to begin by saying that I am a huge Lego fan. I built my first Lego set when I was 4. Have the first build box that included arches, and if you watched the unboxing of the Flying Dutchman, you know that I have been building Lego ships and castles since the first pirate ship and castle sets. This being said, I've seen the ads online, the sets in stores, and Amazon that are brick sets made by other companies. I never had the guts to spend the money and try them out, despite how amazing a lot of them seemed. I am loving working with this channel because it is giving me the chance to try them out. Lego can't make everything. Sometimes they don't have licensing, sometimes it doesn't meet their company philosophy, and sometimes there just isn't room in their current catalog. There are some really fantastic sets out there to try. I am not going to stop getting Legos. My Lego wish list is still longer than my ability to get them, and I'm sure I will continue to get them on every gift-giving occasion. If you are a subscriber, you will even get the chance to see me review a couple, because while I enjoy building Lego sets, there are some that are truly fantastic and memorable, and I'm always looking for more. That being said, our mission is to help you find things you want to build. By trying out the non-Lego sets, I hope to help you find the ones that look great online and are fun to build. Moving on to the Magic Broomstick Potions Bar. There are a lot of wonderful things about this kit. The details are incredible and it is artistically beautiful. The negatives I will share are more in the way of explanation as to why this build is not for a beginning builder, or even really a builder of moderate skill. On the Stallonis Review rock scale of hardness of 1 being easy and 10 being rock hard, we give this kit a 9. The kit itself is labeled as 14 and up. The bricks are mini bricks and therefore not Lego compatible. In some places, the size of the bricks does make it a little more difficult to place them. There are 2 separate instruction books with a total of 112 pages, plus a page with the minifigure directions and a picture of where to place the power box for the light strand. The instructions were fairly clear, but very intricate. They gave green lines around new pieces that were being added, and sometimes gave an extra overhead shot to show piece placement more clearly. There are 12 sections of build or groups of numbered bags. The first section is completely the base. There are very carefully placed bricks inside the base that are intended to make sure that the build on top is supported. Then you cover it all up with white plates. The design does make sure that each side has a completely different plate layout so that you can be sure you are building in the correct place to match the under supports. Despite all of this care, I did still have a bench that I ended up leaving out of the build because it was in an area that was spongy because there was nothing under it. I couldn't get enough push to get it to stay in place. Fortunately, there is so much on the interior of the first floor that you couldn't really see it anyway. There were 2,639 bricks in this kit. It was a lot. Each day I built, it took several hours, and it took me 8 days to build. There were no missing pieces, but there were a couple of pieces that weren't correct. The company was on top of that, though, as there was a little bag with 2 pieces that were needed because the build bag had 1 piece wrong and one that the color was wrong on. The pieces went together fairly easily, with the caveat that sometimes the small size made them more difficult to position. For instance, it was difficult to get them into position where they needed to go. I'll talk about this a little bit more in a minute. Many of the more intricate designs, as well as the peaked roofline, were very easy to knock apart. Part of this was from the build order, and part of it was a combination of allowing easy access to the upper floors, which meant less internal structure of the roofline. Another part was just fitting in all the intricate detail. The final part was problems with the build order, which I will again get to in a moment. The build kit came with a brick separator sized to the mini bricks, some stickers, and a fairy light strand with a power box. I left the lights out of my build because while they can be a selling point, the directions only show where the box goes, not the lights. Ideally, it would probably work best to string them as you build, but that would definitely take some planning. Mr. Stalonis Reviews went in and added them after I finished, and I believe ended up drilling a hole in a brick to get them everywhere he wanted. As I said, I really like how beautiful this build is. It is definitely one where you look at the completed project and just say, wow. I also like the fact that it uses pinks and lilacs despite the witchy theme. Too many sets fall back on the black and orange and dark colors. It seems to me that this build was definitely a CAD design. This had the tremendous benefit of a beautiful, detailed build. That in itself was not something I disliked. It is a very useful way to design before committing to brick. Where it caused problems is that unlike the Lego design process, I got the sense that the designers did not build the set after designing it. The order of the build seemed to complete a layer of bricks all the way around before continuing up. Imagine a computer program revealing layers of a design one at a time. It was built like that. This meant that frequently areas were left unconnected to more solid sections while you built elsewhere. Obviously, this led to parts being knocked off as you were trying to put in other parts. There were also internal supports that were built and placed, but not connected until much later. Imagine building an arch without the keystone and waiting to add the keystone until the rest of the building caught up to the height. Finally, the outside details were added at the end of the build instead of at the time you were building the foundation. This meant that some pieces had to be reached into corners that were now less accessible. I also want to note that this kit came in a bag rather than a box. I found that while this was not an issue for most of the build, some of the base flats were warped and didn't lay flat. Since they were not being connected along every edge, that became an issue on some areas of the build. Finally, the minifigs were not to the same scale as the building. When they are standing next to tables or counters, they are visibly too short. There also was no effort made to match the skin tones of the hands to the skin tones of the head. Some of them had the flexible hair pieces that are used in the Lego Friends sets, which I find very difficult to affix to the minifig. As I said in the beginning, this is not a build for a beginner. It was a challenge to build even with my many years of experience. I would not recommend approaching this build unless you are very confident in your building skills. If you do take on the set, I recommend that you pay careful attention to the alignment of the white plates of the base, so your building is fully supported by the underpinnings inside the base. If I were to build this again, I would have to seriously consider reordering the directions to complete sections with full support, rather than continuing to build steadily up. It is not a set that I would take apart to build again, but I would definitely build a similar set by the same company. Did you build one of these magic broomstick potions bars? What did you think? Put your comments below. Please like and subscribe to see our latest videos. I hope this review helped you decide if you wanted to make one of your own magic broomstick potions bars. If you're in a position to support us on Patreon, please click our link in the description. We have a camera that needs to be replaced. For $3 a month, you get ad-free access to our videos. That $3 could help you decide what to love building next.
I finally got around to writing an outro to give you plenty of time to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thanks again to those of you who have already subscribed, and one of you will have the good luck to be my first paid tier patron on Patreon if you subscribe today. For $3 a month, you get access to my videos without having to watch ads. Thank you in advance.